Rain poured like broken glass from the heavens that night, cold and relentless, washing away the dirt of the city but never its cruelty. The streets shimmered under the flickering streetlights, their reflections bending with every drop that fell. In the quiet hum of a nearly deserted block, a man walked with his little daughter, hand in hand beneath a worn-out umbrella. His name was Ethan Cole, a single father and a war veteran who'd traded the sound of gunfire for the soft laughter of his 6-year-old girl Lily. To her, he was more than a hero. To him, she was the only thing worth fighting for. Before we go further into this powerful true-to-life story, make sure to hit that like button, drop a heartfelt comment, and subscribe to Soul Spark for more stories that touch the soul and ignite hope. Ethan had served 12 long years in the military. He'd seen things that still haunted his sleep, the faces of brothers lost in battle, the screams that no silence could ever erase. When his wife passed away during childbirth, the battlefield followed him home. But Lily became his peace. Every morning she'd wake him with a hug and say, "Daddy, let's make today happy." And somehow, even on his darkest days, she managed to make that happen. That night, they were walking home from a small diner. It was Lily's favorite place, the one with the blue neon sign and the waitress who always gave her an extra cherry on her ice cream. Ethan had promised her a late night walk because she loved the rain. He didn't mind. Rain always made him feel like the world was trying to start over. As they turned down the narrow alley that led toward their apartment, Lily suddenly tightened her grip. "Daddy," she whispered, her small voice trembling. "What's happening over there?" Ethan followed her gaze. Ahead, beneath the half-dead glow of a streetlight, 3 men circled a woman. She looked terrified, her hands clutching a purse against her chest, her body pressed against the wall, as if trying to disappear. The men's laughter echoed through the rain, sharp and cruel. Ethan's instincts kicked in before his thoughts did. He pushed Lily gently behind a parked car. "Stay right here, baby. No matter what happens, you don't move." His voice was calm, but his eyes burned with a quiet rage. She nodded, though her eyes filled with tears. "Daddy, please don't get hurt." He gave her a small smile, the kind that always made her feel safe, and then walked toward the men. His boots splashed in puddles, each step heavier than the last. The woman saw him first, eyes wide with desperate hope. The attackers turned, smirking as they sized him up. "What's this, old man? You looking to play hero?" One of them sneered, twirling a switchblade. Ethan didn't answer. He just stood there, rain dripping from his face, muscles tensing beneath his soaked jacket. When one of the men lunged forward, it was over in seconds. Ethan moved like lightning, a blur of precision and force. A quick sidestep, a disarm, a strike to the ribs, another to the throat. Years of training surfaced like second nature. By the time the last man hit the ground, gasping for air, Ethan stood over them, chest heaving, eyes cold. "Get up," he growled, "and disappear before I change my mind." The men scrambled away into the night, dragging each other through the rain. The woman fell to her knees, shaking. Ethan helped her up gently. She was in her mid-30s, well-dressed but clearly shaken, her makeup streaked by tears and rain. Thank you," she stammered. "I don't know what they would have." "It's over," Ethan said softly. "You're safe now." Then came a voice behind him, trembling yet brave. "Daddy," Lily whispered, running toward him. She looked up at the woman with wide, innocent eyes. "Daddy, can we help her?" Ethan crouched, brushing a strand of wet hair from Lily's cheek. "We already did, sweetheart," he said, smiling faintly. "But maybe we can do a little more." He gave his jacket to the woman, offering to walk her home. Her name was Grace Hamilton. She lived in a gated community a few blocks away, but her car had broken down, and she'd tried to take a shortcut. She thanked them over and over, promising she'd never forget what they'd done. Ethan just nodded politely and turned back toward the rainy street with Lily in his arms, both of them shivering yet smiling. The next morning, Ethan was back to his usual routine, preparing Lily's breakfast, humming softly as she colored at the kitchen table. They lived modestly in a small apartment filled with second-hand furniture and walls decorated with Lily's crayon drawings. To them, it was home. Then came the sound of engines outside. Not one, not two, 3. Ethan frowned, stepping to the window. Parked along the curb were 3 gleaming Rolls-Royce Phantoms, their silver bodies glistening under the morning sun. Men in black suits stood beside them. For a moment, Ethan thought he was dreaming. Then came a knock at the door. When he opened it, the same woman from last night, Grace Hamilton, stood there dressed elegantly, her expression filled with gratitude and emotion. "Monsieur Cole," she began, "I owe you and your daughter more than words can ever express." Ethan tried to smile modestly. "You don't owe us anything, ma'am. I just did what anyone should have done." But Grace shook her head firmly. "No. Not everyone would have risked their life for a stranger. Not in this world." She gestured toward the cars. "My father owns Hamilton Motors. Those 3 cars are yours, one for you, one for your future, and one to help others." Ethan blinked, stunned. "Ma'am, I can't." "You can," she interrupted softly, "because heroes like you deserve to be seen. My father and I discussed this all night. Consider it a thank you, not just for saving me, but for showing my daughter that real men still exist." Lily peeked from behind Ethan's leg, her eyes sparkling. "Daddy, are those really ours?" Ethan knelt beside her, still in disbelief. "I guess so, Pumpkin. But what are we going to do with 3? Grace smiled warmly. "That's for you to decide. I just wanted you to know that kindness still finds its way back." Over the next few days, news spread across the city. Veteran saves woman from attackers, rewarded with 3 Rolls-Royces. But Ethan never sought fame. He sold 2 of the cars and used the money to start a small community program for veterans struggling to find their way back to normal life. He named it the Lily Foundation, after his daughter, who'd reminded him that even the smallest act of kindness could grow into something beautiful. Each morning, Ethan and Lily would visit the center. Veterans would gather there, broken, tired, forgotten, and find hope again. They'd share stories, laughter, tears, and maybe a little bit of healing. One afternoon, while watching the sunset from the center's porch, Lily leaned her head on his shoulder. "Daddy," she said softly, "you always tell me heroes wear uniforms, but I think heroes wear hearts." Ethan smiled, his eyes glistening. "Then I guess you're my hero too." The world kept moving, but that one night, the rain, the courage, the kindness, became the turning point for so many. A single act of bravery rippled into hundreds of lives touched, hearts healed, and futures rebuilt. If this story moved your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Soul Spark, where every story reminds us that goodness still lives among us. And as for Ethan and Lily, they never forgot that kindness is the strongest armor a person can wear, and love, the greatest reward one can ever receive. Because sometimes the smallest voice asking, "Daddy, can we help her?" can change the world.